New. It's just me in the room again. They left really early, so they just came for the night and then left. Which is fair enough. I can show you the things that I made now. Had a really lovely call with Ewan this morning off the back of a message I sent yesterday to Ewan and Joe about wanting to build more of our friendship as whilst I'm away, rather than let it pause. Why does my hair look so weird? Yeah, let's go through the thing. Okay. All right, the cutlery. Oh my gosh, doing this with one hand. Also, I need to buy the little camera if I'm going to buy the little camera again. Let's get it ordered to the homestay that I'm actually in for like a week so that it arrives. Oh, it's going to be upside down again. Ta-da! It's made out of the fabric that I dyed. Even the tie is made out of the fabric that I made. And there's slots for more stuff if I... Actually, I mean, they're all full, but there's space. So this is sewed, and then this is open. Got my straws, my spoon, my chopsticks, and knife in here. This is washing up liquid, like dishwashing liquid. And then in here, I have a little loofah that I chopped in half to act as my like cleaning sponge for things. And then, yeah, this actually sometimes like moves so you can see in from the top, which is actually good because I can get quick access to the straw, which is fun. Yeah, and then it just, like, it's going to be hard to do with one hand. Rolls. Like, it's not perfect, and the fabric is maybe a little thicker than it needs to be. And then, yeah, you just tie it, and then it's got everything so far that I need. So that's that. I'll tie that later. And then I have this, which is really cute. Okay, I might need my right hand for this one. So there's a little button on top. Oh man, this is showing my ineptitude. Here we go. Okay. There's another button. Here. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So this opens out. And it has a little padding where the teacups and stuff go. But you can also use it as like one big placemat for the tea. And then you've got the big cup. It's here. And then the little cups, and I made these really terrible coasters that are just like a piece of fabric sewed around the edge, and they also act as like the stopper in between. So you've got one for the big cup, and then you've got one for each of the little cups, and then people can hold them, like hold the cup like this, and then they can put it down on a table or something without, yeah, like a coaster. And then you can see that this is also leftover old fabric, and then this was fabric that she had lying around. Yeah, and then you stack it back up by putting. They're not all the same size, so like this one's bigger because it's for the middle, and then you put the cup, then you put a thing, then you put a cup, then you put a thing. It's really hard to do with one hand. Then you put this on top, and then I'm not gonna be able to do this with one hand at all. But then you put the button across the top here, and then you roll it, and then button it closed. So yeah, it was really fun. I used a sewing machine for the first time. It's kind of crazy that I've never used a sewing machine before. It was a good time. I had a good time. Sewing is actually quite fun. Turns out. But it's not like, it's clearly not my skill. Like it's not like a thing that, it didn't bring me like loads of joy to do the sewing. It was kind of fun to like be making something and have a vision for something that I wanted to make and then be able to make it. Like that was pretty fun, honestly. Yeah, I made this like way off center. Yeah, having a vision for what I wanted to make, and then making it was really cool. I know a little bit now more about sewing, but I would need to do like a lot more like work to understand fully how to sew, especially like hand sewing and stuff. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I think this is really cute. Yes. Moving to a new hostel where Sabrina and Sarah and stuff are going to be today. I'm going to find a cobbler and get my earth runners fixed. I'm shocked. I've been wearing them like legitimately. I think there's maybe been like 3 or 4 days where I haven't worn them. So we're talking like 100 days in a row all day. And now the strap is broken, which maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but like some of the shit that I've been doing to them, like it's pretty impressive that they've lasted. So I will go to a shoe shop here. There's loads of stuff here. Yeah. What else? Yeah, I wanted to talk about like being the collateral between being nominally vegan and wanting a biodegradable wardrobe and industry and stuff. And I was thinking about it a lot, and I realized that I obviously care a lot about animals, and so I'm not gonna like stop acting in a non-exploitative way to animals, and I'm not gonna stop like eating plant-based and stuff like that, as much as is possible, as much as practical and possible and stuff. But when I was thinking about my clothes and the sort of like industrial systems that one takes part in, and that I'm trying to like start to slowly break away from. Let's say I bought or was given even wool in Mongolia. I suspect that is much less damaging to the environment, to people, and like much less exploitative of people, and probably much less exploitative of animals. It just seems more direct because it's directly from an animal than buying something synthetic that is just like destroying the environment with its production and with the plastics and the petroleum and shit that goes into making it, and the health issues, and like that has such a wider impact on human lives and animal lives compared to a direct small community that, I mean, hopefully looks after their animals and has a more symbiotic relationship of survival with them. Now, obviously, it's extremely niche, like edge case that not a lot of people are in the position to do. Like, if you're just shopping from any sort of like normal fashion shop or like high street tailor, whatever, high street shop brand, then you can lesser your impact and you can lesser your evils by buying like non-animal based products. I learned the other day about muesling, which is a to get wool. It's the back end of a sheep can have like a lot of like urine and feces and stuff in it, which can attract like flies. And so they flay the skin off the back of the sheep so that they don't get infected, so that they can like shear and stuff without risk to the wool and to the sheep, I guess. And it's apparently like, yeah, super barbaric and incredibly painful, and really horrible for the sheep, and can cause like other issues with the scar tissue and stuff. So, there's like, and then there's like all of the industrial sort of like complex behind that thing as well. So you're either buying wool, which has then a direct line to like abuse, or indirect through pollution or bad industry practices, which you would have anyway, no matter where you bought from. So obviously, like the ideal would be like buying from places that are trying to be sustainable and ethical, or having your own local artisans and shit. Like I'm trying to do, I guess, is slightly better and not perfect still, but we do what we can. Yeah, and I realized that like in those cases, the label of being vegan, I think, gets lost because I think the way that it's it can become like quite consuming, and it's just not my like prevailing like what's the word I'm looking for? It's early. It's not my prevailing cause. I care about it a lot, but I also care about sort of human welfare and wealth inequality, and putting my money where my mouth is if I do spend it, and where it goes. So even like not buying third party buy clothes from like tribes and stuff, like trying to go to them directly and experience and understand, have like something culturally significant, and then buy from them so that they're getting everything as much as and where the chain is completely closed, like they grow everything from seed to clothes, which is crazy, and everything is like fully natural, which is also crazy. And I'm just gonna have to compromise on some things. Like, I'm probably not gonna have the most comfortable clothes. I'm probably not gonna have the most durable clothes, and I'm probably not gonna have the warmest clothes. Like synthetics are, like the fastest drying. It's like there are compromises here that are gonna have to be made. Like, that's just the way that this is gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to slowly get rid of things that I'm attached to now because they work and are great and incredibly useful and functional. But if I'm making the decision to move down the path of like trying to be a walking sort of manifestation of my ideal of sustainability or whatever, then I'm gonna have to do that at the cost of some things. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a slow process over time. Like here, I'm going to maybe try and get some hemp trousers, swap out the like bamboo ones that I don't really wear that much. In India, I really want to get some like harem trouser, like low hanging trouser, and I could probably layer those two. I don't think I'm going to get like quilted felt wool trousers, padded like trousers and stuff from Mongolia, but I mean, maybe a jacket, maybe just like gloves, hat, socks. I'm not sure. I've started to like in my journal. I've started to like map the route that also hits. I mean, it's the same route, but like what I might get from each place, like what I might build up from each place, which is fun, and it gives a little bit of purpose, I think, in direction to what I'm doing, which I like. And then I'm gonna look like such a mess. Like, can you imagine just wearing like a Mongolian hat and Nepalese, throw or whatever, like a poncho thing, and then like a Vietnamese hill tribe shirt and an Indian baggy trouser. Like it'll look just insane. But I think also also getting away from the idea of like fashion and look. I'll be wearing so many cultures and like stories and crafts and art on me, and so that in itself can be quite beautiful. And hey, maybe I will look. Maybe I'll have a look and it'll work, and I'll try and go as neutral color as possible. And if everything's natural dye, it'll probably all be quite neutral and flat anyway, because it's quite difficult to get like really bright colors out of natural dyes. It's possible, but so hey, maybe a little kind of like work. I can always go for like a palette. I can go for like blue and like earthy colors, like blue, green, beige, brown, kind of thing. But it shouldn't matter. I don't want it to matter to me. I want to feel comfortable in my clothes, and I want to feel like my clothes connect me to the world. But I don't need my clothes to be part of seeking external validation. I can get away from that, I think. Man, this is yeah. If I end up actually pulling the trigger and really doing this is gonna be a weird. It's gonna be quite unique. I emailed a company called, like, I think it's a non-profit maybe, called Around the World in 80 Textiles or something. I just came across it randomly, and they had like lists of different materials and textiles, because I was looking up like what natural materials exist, and like in Nepal they use like nettle to make clothes, which is really cool. And yeah, I was then linked to this website, and I was like, damn, this organization sounds really cool, and they have done loads of research and know a lot about all this stuff. So I sent them an email and was like, hey, I can't offer you anything, but like maybe you want to help me out. This is what I'm doing. I'm traveling the world, and I want to have a fully biodegradable, wardrobe and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. I'm gonna, I guess pack everything. I have loads of space in my bag still. Like, I still need to figure out what I'm doing, like winter clothes wise, if I'm gonna buy anything from here. To survive the loop north on the bike, or if I'm just gonna brace it. Yeah, I think if there's one piece of synthetic that I go with for a long time, it's a raincoat, I think. I have a raincoat, but it's quite thin. It's just thin fabric. I think if I go for like a slightly thicker all-purpose raincoat, I think that's probably the right call. But maybe I can layer enough. I don't know. Maybe I need gloves. I just don't want to buy. I don't want to buy any. Maybe I can borrow some. I don't know. Yeah. And I, for the first time this whole trip, have dipped into savings. It's fine. I have tipped over the £25 a day mark. But that just means so little to me. Okay. But it is notable. It's a notable moment. And my ears are healing well, for those who are keeping up. Also, one of my videos got popular again, and I got a bunch of weird comments again. So I'm just going to go back and turn off comments on the... I just can't be bothered to go back and turn off comments on all the videos. There's so many. But yes, I don't like being objectified, but it doesn't really bother me that much. Objectify me, like, do whatever you want. Like, it doesn't really affect me. Like, it doesn't take any of my worth away from me and how I feel about myself. So if you enjoy watching for whatever reason, like, fucking do whatever you like. It's your business. It's your life. Don't feel the need to comment. Don't feel the need to go back and comment. I don't care what you think. So yeah. But it was funny that it was happening right around the time where I was talking and like actually feeling genuinely quite objectified in person by the tribe, and I was like, haha, that's funny. That was coinciding. yeah. Okay. There's a vegan restaurant like really close by. So I will leave my bag here, just go have breakfast, relax. I started reading The Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. Gotta be honest, I was extremely tired when I started reading it, so I don't think I processed any of the first few pages. But I just really got the urge to read something written by a woman. So, yeah. Yeah. Man. Yeah, talking to Emmanuel yesterday, I think it hit her, but it also hit me just how potentially closed the previous chapter of my life really is. In moments of like spontaneously being able to meet up with all of my friends who just happen to basically be in the same area at the same time after being apart and coming together. It was both quite rare and quite beautiful and quite wonderful, and I'm glad I had the time to experience it, and it makes me very joyous that I got all the time that I got. But the time is now changed or changing, and by the time I'm back, who knows what it's going to look like or what it's going to be or where I'm going to be or anything. So yeah, it's heavy, not bad, but like I don't believe banned word. It's not making me feel negatively about traveling or about my friends or about my life, but it is quite a heavy realization that like I forcibly moved to the next chapter in. It wasn't like anyone else moved away and I was being reactive or like, oh man, I feel so uncomfortable here, like I have to do something. It was just a pure pull, like a want to. I wasn't being pushed out. There was nothing in my life that was pushing me away. My work a little bit, but like nothing crazy. Anyway, I've gone on for like 20 minutes now. So yeah, I'll catch you later. Bye. I better watch out for that pesky old gravity. Come up with a new rule, I think. No brands. As in, no labels. As in, on my stuff. I think in the movie industry they call it Greek-ing. If you Greek something, I don't know why, but if you Greek something, you remove all labeling so that you can use stuff in like movies and shows and stuff without getting sued. I might Greek all my stuff. Yeah. It's cold. I think it's 20 degrees, but it's cold, man. I'm wearing 3 layers. And instead of buying gloves, I'm considering just using my socks as gloves, so I don't have to buy gloves. Yeah. But I am considering buying a nice all-purpose raincoat that might keep me warmer than this one.